What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update and third stimulus check update. In this video, we're going to talk about the $600 stimulus check, the $300 per week stimulus check, and the $2,000 stimulus check, as well as the Georgia Senate race, which will determine whether Mitch McConnell and the Republicans stay in power in the Senate. Remember, if Mitch McConnell loses these last two Senate seats that are happening tomorrow, basically the revote is tomorrow, the tiebreaker vote, the runoff vote is tomorrow. If the Republicans lose both those seats, then Mitch McConnell will no longer be the Senate Majority Leader and will no longer be able to block the $2,000 stimulus check bill that has already passed the U.S. House of Representatives. We're going to go over the latest details of it and the new strain of the virus. Yeah, actually a third strain. Yeah, in this video. Don't forget to like this video down below. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. I'm seeing more and more reports from you guys, our viewers, that you have received your $600 stimulus check. Let me know down below in the comments if you have received the $600 stimulus check, as well as I'm getting some states and some people that have received their $300 per week unemployment stimulus check. If you have received that, let me know down below in the comments and what state you are from as we start to see some of those trickle in. What do we expect on this? The first batch of the $600 stimulus checks have been sent out via direct deposit. A lot of you guys have started to receive that. Let me know if you have down below. There's going to be more batches going through over the course of the next 2 weeks. In addition to that, they're mailing checks to people that do not get direct deposit. So mail checks should be basically sent through the mail, should be receiving this week. Let me know if you've received a mail-in check. I don't know if I've seen anybody say they got their check in the mail, they actually snail mail yet. But that'll be interesting to see. We should expect those this week, as well as certain states with a $300 per week unemployment bonus. That is all kind of starting this week. Some states are slower than others. There's not supposed to be a lapse, but as you know from the previous rounds of the unemployment boost, especially when President Trump did that executive order for the $300 per week, which went for 6 weeks, a lot of states just don't know what they're doing. They're so far behind. Some states were sending out their $300 per week almost instantly. And then some states literally weren't sending out their $300 per week until after the entire 6 weeks was over. And then they sent out like a lump sum. And yeah, some states are just literally archaic when it comes to sending out their stimulus checks. Also, in this video at the end, we're going to go over the rental assistance programs coming from this new $900 billion, the latest update on that. There is growing concern over the second and the third mutated strains of the virus. The second strain of the virus is already in the United States, reported cases in Florida, California, and Colorado. And Dr. Fauci says he expects that this strain is going to spread through the United States exactly how the first strain is. There's also a third strain in Africa that is raising a growing alarm in the United Kingdom in addition. As you can see here, the new coronavirus strain that emerged in South Africa is even more problematic than the mutated form that prompted new lockdowns across much of the UK. That's the second strain. That second strain is now in the United States. In fact, experts say that the second strain, the biggest problem with that one is it's up to 70% more contagious. And I think really personally, in my opinion, I think the contagious part of this virus is the worst part, how easily it spreads. In fact, here's a perfect example. An outbreak killed one person but infected 43 people at a California hospital, and an inflatable holiday costume is likely to blame. You can see a picture of the costume here. That basically infected 43 different people just from one person in this costume. A staff member dressed as a smiling red-nosed Christmas tree strolled through the emergency department at a San Jose, California hospital on Christmas Day, hoping to provide some Christmas cheer. Days later, the outbreak swept through the Kaiser Permanente San Jose Medical Center, infecting 43 different employees. Hospitals say now that the air powered Christmas costume is likely to blame for all 44 positive tests and at least one death so far. Experts said the fan inside the costume could have blown the virus laden droplets throughout the department. And although there was no malintentions here, that just shows how incredibly easy it is to spread this virus. And that's why we have masks, because you literally can just spread it through your water droplets in your breath. And the second virus is 70% more contagious. So just kind of picture that. Regarding the third mutation, quote, I'm incredibly worried about the South African variant, a UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock said. One of the reasons they know they have a big problem is because, like us, they have an excellent genomic scientific capability to be able to study the details of the virus, and it is even more of a problem than the new UK variant. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments regarding the second and third mutated variants of the virus and how you think that'll affect us going forward. The fight for the Senate race and the $2,000 stimulus checks that have been blocked by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Senate Republican leader, is really affecting what is happening in these two Senate seat races that will be voted on tomorrow. Early in-person voting has already stopped in Georgia. There's been over 3 million votes already cast. Early indications show that a vast majority of Democratic supporters have come in and voted when they had previously not voted, and the blue wave may be completed here. And again, I don't lean either way. I'm just kind of reporting you guys the news that I'm seeing. The early polling for the Senate races seems to be increasing for the Democrats. As you can see here, both the Democrats, Ossoff and Ossoff and Warnock are both leading. Warnock is leading by about 2%. Just a few days ago, it was a dead even tie, and the lead has been increasing for both the Democrats in the Senate seats here. As you can see here, Ossoff and Warnock are both leading and have been increasing their lead over the last few days, mostly because what most people think is because Mitch McConnell refused to even take a vote up for the $2,000 stimulus checks, which people are crying foul on, saying it passed the House with an overwhelming majority. And even Republican senators are saying, you got to put this to a vote. And Mitch McConnell delayed it up until this point. And a lot of people think that that has caused too much damage for Mitch McConnell and the Senate Republicans to come back from. And that is why the lead is increasing for the Senate Democrat race in Georgia. In fact, you can look here at all the different polling results. Every single one of them, it looks like, or almost every single one of them, has the Democrats leading in the polls. But it is a very slim margin, very, very slim margin here. Honestly, this could go either way. But remember, if the Democrats win both of these seats, they will take control of the Senate, and Mitch McConnell will lose his Senate Majority Leader seat, and he will no longer be able to table or block the $2,000 stimulus check and forward stimulus checks, coming out after this. In fact, we're starting to see more and more reports like this one on the screen and the related article that is already saying that the $900 billion stimulus package that was just passed last week is really not enough. It's a small, skinny package, kind of, especially because half of that money was not even new money. Half of the money was used from the leftover CARES Act. This actual bill was less than $500 billion in new money, and we know the stimulus checks were only $600. Thankfully, President Donald Trump stepped in and said, well, these checks need to be $2,000, and that kind of spearheaded this early movement for the $2,000 stimulus checks. And that kind of leads us to where we are now this week with basically the movement for the Cash Act 2.0 or version 2. The Cash Act is the $2,000 stimulus check that passed the House, and Mitch McConnell tabled it and basically didn't allow a vote on it. Now, Mitch McConnell did introduce his own $2,000 stimulus check bill, which is not as good. It is still $2,000 for adults, but not for children or adult dependents. And he has two other stipulations in there that the Democrats really don't like. If Mitch McConnell does stay in power, the Democrats will likely have to basically give in to Mitch McConnell's couple demands there. I really don't think that they're a deal breaker, but I think the Democrats are like, well, let's see if we win these two Georgia Senate runoff race seats, which is literally in 24 hours. In fact, there's already 3 million votes already cast. We're already starting to get early reports and polling and different information out of Georgia regarding who's going to win this. I will be keeping you updated on this. In the next video, I got some big election stuff. The certification of the election is on January 6th. And yeah, it's just gonna be an absolutely crazy week this week. But the biggest thing in the Senate is if the Republicans need to win one out of the two seats, then they will retain the majority in the Senate and Mitch McConnell will stay leader. If the Democrats win both of the seats, which early polling shows that they are winning both of the seats and their lead has been increasing, then Mitch McConnell will lose his power in the Senate. He'll no longer be Senate Majority Leader. He will become Senate Minority Leader, which basically means he's still leader of the Republicans, but the Majority Leader, as we know, holds all the power because that is who decides if a bill can even be voted on. And that's kind of like how this $2,000 stimulus check bill got delayed because it passed the House with an overwhelming majority of 2/3. That might not sound like a lot to you, but that's very high whenever there's a contested bill. 2/3 on a contested bill, that like something that's not unanimous, that passes like, basically 95-2 or something like that. A contested bill passing with a 2/3 majority is considered a super majority. That's actually enough majority to override a presidential veto, which actually just happened this week for the first time ever on that NDAA bill. First time ever in President Trump's term was the first time he vetoed that bill, and it came back and passed the House and the Senate. You need a 2/3 majority. That was the first time we've seen a veto overridden from President Donald Trump. Of course, he wasn't happy about that. And he did that because he wants to repeal Section 230 liability protections for media companies like Twitter and other ones. He tries to add that into the Mitch McConnell $2,000 stimulus check bill. That's one of the two main concessions that Mitch McConnell added in his $2,000 stimulus check bill. If the Republicans do win one of the Senate seats, then it's very likely that the Democrats will have to give in and give them that as kind of a gift to a concession to pass the $2,000 stimulus check bill. I called the $2,000 stimulus check version 2 or 2.0 because the Democrats will likely have to make a few concessions in there to pass that bill if Mitch McConnell stays in power and the Republicans stay in power, along with probably tweaking a line or two so that people that make over $75,000 to $99,000 will not get that $2,000 stimulus check, because the way it's kind of worded, a very few amount of people will still get it because it's $2,000 per child also. So if you have a bunch of children and you make a lot of money, you could still get a small reduced check. Let's talk about the mortgage and rental assistance that came out of this $900 billion stimulus package. As you can see here, for example, Florida, the state of Florida, is expected to get $1.4 billion from the government's $25 billion rental assistance fund that passed from this $900 billion stimulus package. And honestly, this is just Florida alone with $1.4 billion. Each state is on average going to get anywhere from, on average, $500 billion or more. The larger states, Florida, Texas, New York, California, are expected to get over $1 billion each. And as an example, Florida, which will receive an estimated $1.4 billion, that's a significant step up from the $250 million in coronavirus relief funds allocated for rent and mortgage by the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, in June. So that rental assistance is about 5 or 6 times more that Floridians should expect. That's why we're going to have a lot of mortgage and rental assistance coming out here within the next week or two, as we expect to get more details on that. And just to make it clear, it's not just for Florida, it's going to be for all the states. And each state is going to get a different amount of rental assistance from the $900 billion package based on your population. In addition to that, we're seeing more states and more cities come out after the new year saying that they want to pass their own state stimulus checks, rental assistance, and unemployment relief checks. So I will be keeping you updated on all that. The money for the mortgage and rental assistance from the stimulus package is not available yet, but I expect to hear new news this week. I will keep you updated on that. The Senate race, which will affect the stimulus checks, the $2,000 stimulus checks, and everything going forward. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos, and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get notifications when we go live, which is typically 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.